Okay, now I want to discuss a little bit about the confusion stage, the distraction stage, and the sensitization stage. Now, these are three stages of group stalking and the effects of group stalking. A lot of times, somebody will be approached by what they call a targeted individual, or a target of gang stalking, a target of group stalking. Somebody be approached by one of these individuals, and they will be told that basically the person's being gang stalked. The person will say, "I'm being gang stalked. I'm being followed by red shirts, brights. Everywhere I go, people are mimicking me. There's street theater." They might not say it in those terms, but basically that's what they're describing. They're saying, "Hey, I'm just hanging out over somebody's house, and when I went outside, I saw the same person again following me to the store. I saw these same individuals wearing red shirts. I saw these same individuals using brightening. I went to the gas station. There was a red and black car parked there. I left the gas station and went over to some other place, and I was being followed by people wearing red shirts, and they were using brightening and all that stuff." This usually is getting out of the confusion stage into the distraction stage, when the person can see these things and identify them like really good. Just say, "Hey, this person's doing this person's doing that, this person's doing that." In the confusion stage, they really can't make sense out of it. They just know there's something weird going on. But when they get off into the distraction stage and they can come up with these things, and they said, now I'm going online and I'm seeing on YouTube, these same other people are going through this as well. It's not just me. And so the person who's being told this message, whether it be a family member, a friend, a coworker, a stranger out the streets, they're going to say, "Well, this is obviously some sort of paranoid delusion you're going through. How are all these people following you and using brightening? How are all these people a part of this overall orchestration? It doesn't really make sense." You got to keep in mind what the person is going to be telling you is accurate. 99.9% of the time, the information they're going to be telling you, if they are actually being gang stalked, what they're going to be telling you is completely accurate. They're not hallucinating, they're not delusional, they're not paranoid, they're not making it up. They're actually seeing these things happening to them. There's people who are being paid to do these things to whatever degree, but their interpretation of it is critical to deliver the information to you in a way in which you can comprehend it. So a lot of times individuals, they may take what they're seeing and then turn around and describe it in a way that's very incomprehensible. I've spoken to several people who are actually going through gang stalking without exaggeration, and they're explaining it as this is witchcraft, or these are evil spirits gang stalking me. These people are extraterrestrial lizard people, shape-shifting and changing in different colors and stuff. Their mind oftentimes will race to other areas. Now, that's an extreme. Most people getting gang stalked don't say anything like that, but that's an extreme of it. On a normalized level of exaggeration, people will come up with all sorts of scenarios trying to explain, "Oh my God, it's an evil plot, and all these people, all the taxi cabs, or all the commercial truck drivers who drive for McDonald's, or all these people are conspiring against me." 90% of the individuals who are group stalking a target don't know the target. A lot of them don't even necessarily know what gang stalking is. They're being asked to do these assignments for whatever reason. They're getting like prepaid credit cards, restaurant discounts. They're being approached through Facebook apps. They're being approached through text messages. They may have their boss tell them, "This is a detail of work. You're working a job, and there's a mental health code at play here, and we suspect this individual may be off balance. So we need you to watch this individual, pay extra close attention to him when you do it. Part of this detail, we need you to wear this red shirt. We need you to follow the individual, the brights on the car." So the guy or the girl who's actually out there participating in the overall group stalking effect, they may actually believe they're doing something good or something honorable. But in actuality, they're actually participating in the person stalking without knowing it. This stuff happens a lot. And so even if the target goes to one of these people and starts trying to explain to them, "I'm being gang stalked and I'm being group stalked," that individual may think they're delusional or think there's something wrong there. And so that's why education comes into play, and family members, friends, peers, coworkers have to become really familiar with how this stuff looks and how it comes across. The target isn't making any of this stuff up. They're not hallucinating to any degree. There is a thing called sensitization, if somebody's being gang stalked and they're going through this 24/7 every single day, everywhere they go. Oftentimes, somebody from the outside will say the person, this is happening to the person so much, they think everybody's stalking them. That needs to be talked about a lot too, because 80 to 90% of the time that somebody's being gang stalked and they're describing the people who are doing it, they're accurate, they're telling the truth. It could be as simple as if somebody lives, the neighborhood somebody lives at, their neighbors may put a black car and a red car in their driveway just to participate in the group stalking effect and add on to the color coding. But to an outsider who knows nothing about gang stalking, they're going to think that that's either paranoid or they're going to think the person is oversensitized to it and they're imagining it. They're not. All this is part of the group stalking effect. Now, if somebody takes enough time and enough energy to invest in a target and try to sensitize them to group stalking, they're not going to let up. So the individual is constantly going through this, and they go out in public and they see people at the stores. They'll see somebody wearing a red shirt and a black shirt. That's specifically there just for them to keep the group stalking in effect. But the person may, again, exaggerate and think these people are they're trying to, these people they're coming from a different dimension. They're trying to do this, this, and this, and this. The person's mind will try to rationalize and make sense out of this really crazy scenario. So if you have a family member that's being gang stalked, be prepared to hear some offlandish stuff. But don't dismiss the person's account. Pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to what they're describing to you. And when they're telling you that other individuals are participating in the group stalking, they're probably telling the truth. So it could be somebody at their church. It could be somebody at their workplace. It could be neighbors. It could be friends that they've been knowing their whole life. It could be an array of people that are involved with this. And it's going to be explained to every one of these different individuals, perhaps in a totally different way as to why they're doing it. But there are going to be people who are intimately involved in the group stalking who know specifically how this is an attack on the person's mind, how they are trying to psychologically damage the person. Everything from intense group stalking to electronic weapons, covert drugging. There's going to be people who know beyond a shadow of a doubt what the intentions of this are. But the vast array of people involved with this, like 90% of them, is going to be compartmentalized to where they're not going to see the overall agenda behind this. And so I'm going to make a part 2 of this. So again, if you're a family member of somebody who's being targeted or a friend of somebody who's being targeted, pay close attention to what they're telling you. And I encourage you to look more into this. I'm going to do more on the 3 stages. But this is going to be a part, I'm going to have to come back and do this.